Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Sheesh podcast. My name is Millie.
And my name is Chloe.
And yes, welcome to episode 2. We've made it to 2 episodes.
Yes.
It's very exciting. Thank you so much to everyone who's listened to episode 1 and is listening right now. We're very excited. So you can find the podcast on Spotify and YouTube. And together, quite a few people, especially for episode 1, listened. So thank you so much.
Yes, thank you so much. It's quite a surprise. I think we're a bit like, is anyone going to listen?
Yeah, more than just Peter listened. Hooray.
Woo.
But this week we are, well, before we get into anything, we need to talk about who won the Sheeshiest meme last week. But I'm so stressed. I'm so sorry. I'm already messing. Basically, you know what? I'm going to keep it in because that's the reality of recording a podcast is that you make mistakes. I'm coming into this podcast stressed after work. So who knows how this will go. But anyway, no one wants to hear about my troubles and struggles. This week and this episode, we're going to be talking a lot about Star Wars. So heads up.
Yeah, sorry guys if you don't like Star Wars.
Yeah, but stay with us for a bit because we're also going to be talking about last weekend, which for me was the Gymshark event, but most importantly for us both was Charlotte's wedding.
Yay!
So we're just we're going to be doing an overview of it, and I'll just talk a bit about the Gymshark event too, and then Chloe went to the Star Wars celebration.
Yeah, I went to London.
Very exciting.
Yes.
So I don't know anything about what happened. So Chloe is going to be telling us all.
No, I've kept it all a secret ready for the podcast. I haven't even told anyone else really. I'm just like, just listen to the podcast.
Yeah, you don't get to know what happened until you listen to the podcast.
Yeah.
But before we get into all of that, we need to talk about who won the Sheeshiest meme. So here's a reminder, guys, that at the end of every episode, Chloe and I bring a contender for the Sheeshiest meme, and you can either vote on Spotify or on Instagram or just message us on the Discord. But you need to vote. And Chloe,
we need your votes, please.
Please vote. But in all seriousness, I am very sad to say that Chloe won last week with one more vote than me, unfortunately. But I think Roger is a king. Roger lives on. So
I do agree. I thought it was a tough one because Roger is just a classic.
Yeah. But congratulations, Chloe, and your smash. Thanks. Margaret Thatcher.
I think just the Margaret Thatcher hate just overcame Roger, sadly. Yes,
unfortunately. But yeah, you'll have to stay tuned to the end to see what our next contenders are. But yeah, we are going to be starting off today's episode. We're going to hold all the Star Wars talk until we've spoken about Charlotte's wedding and the Gymshark event. But basically, I'm going to go first and talk, and then the rest of it's just going to be Star Wars related.
So if you don't like Star Wars, you could just leave the end bit off. It's fine.
Yeah.
I won't be too upset.
Yeah, but before you go, don't forget to either subscribe if you're listening on YouTube or follow us on Spotify. Cheeky plug. But anyway, I will get into first the Gymshark Lift event. So Chloe kind of already knows what happened here because I saw her later that evening. But yeah, I'll just do an overview of the whole weekend because it was an amazing weekend. It was absolutely hilarious. So basically some background is that on April 1st, Saturday, April 1st, that was the Gymshark Lift event in Manchester. But April 2nd was Charlotte's wedding. And so we were due to travel down the country. If you didn't know, I live in the northeast. So we had to travel down south to Charlotte's wedding. And I very kindly asked Alex to do a bit of a detour to Manchester. And he said yes.
You begged him.
So, yeah, I basically begged. And we went along to the Gymshark Lift event, which is essentially Gymshark just puts on this event at a convention centre. And it had, well, obviously things you can buy, Gymshark, but it also had workouts, it had meet and greets with the athletes, it had food, lots of random stuff like that. We only went for about 4 hours, but some people went for both days. But yeah, the major thing from it, my main takeaway was that you had to queue for everything. So the event was free. I've got no complaints. I didn't have to pay for anything. So, yeah, not complaining. But you did have to queue for quite literally everything. You had to queue to get in. You had to queue to the shop. So we spent 20 minutes, 25 minutes waiting in a queue so we could spend money.
Literally a queue for a queue.
Yeah, literally. There was just so many people inside. I'm not sure whether that they had a limit on how many people could go in, whether that was looked at. It wasn't like packed to the point of like I was uncomfortable, but there was quite literally people everywhere.
Yeah.
And there's only a limited like amount of stuff you can obviously do at one time. So there's quite a lot of people just randomly sitting, like obviously meeting people. So I went with the intention of wanting to meet Whitney Simmons and then also wanting to watch Ethan's podcast show. I didn't get to meet Whitney Simmons because I was too busy stuck in the queue for the shop. And then I did get to see Ethan's podcast show, thankfully, but it was just not meant to be. That day was not my day, and Destiny did not want me to meet Ethan Bazinga.
No, so sad.
There was 2 times where I could have met him, so after we got through the line to the shop, I was trying some items on, and they have these little like fitting room booths, and some of them are along the back of the convention centre, so where they would take people who are like Ethan, who if people saw him, he'd kind of get a lot of attention.
Yeah.
So I went inside the fitting room and Alex stood outside. As I closed the curtain, Ethan and his team whizzed past Ethan was wearing a blue wig and glasses, and like literally as I shut the fitting room curtain, and Alex sticks his head through and he was like, "Oh, you've just missed Ethan." And I was like, "Are you joking me?"
It's honestly so typical.
So, yeah. I know. And so I was like, fair enough. Like, I was disappointed. But then we go over to his podcast show, which was really funny, by the way. It's with Shits and Gigs. And afterwards,
I've never listened to the podcast, I don't think.
I've never listened to their podcast either, but I'm tempted to because they were quite good. One of them used to be a personal trainer as well, which I didn't know.
Oh, okay. That'll be good for you.
Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, watch the podcast, and they're like, if you want to meet Ethan and Shits and Gigs, please form a line down the centre of the room. And so I'm like, oh my god, this is my time. And so I queue up, I rush my way over, and they stop the queue like 2 people in front of me.
Oh.
I was like, no more photos. That was so sad.
That is
I was
so
like,
heartbreaking.
I know, I'd pumped myself up as well, because like Alex doesn't feel this way about anyone, like, doesn't get excited like that for people. I do. So I'd put myself up. I was like, oh my god, I'm going to speak to Ethan, like, and get a picture. And I was like, a few years ago, Ethan did a documentary, and I sent in, like, a 5-second clip cheering him on for his marathon. And I was in it, so I was going to be like, oh, I was in your documentary. And I didn't get to.
No.
So, yeah, I was a bit disappointed there again after the second time. So I didn't actually meet a single Gymshark athlete whilst I was there. I mean, I guess I could have walked past someone and not known who they were, but...
Yeah.
So, would you have known anyone there, Chloe, or...
No, like, yeah, obviously Ethan, and then I've heard of Whitney Simmons, but I don't know if I'd recognise if I saw her, but certainly not anyone else.
Yeah, no, I didn't, that too many people. I just had a few people I wanted to see, but yeah, I didn't see anyone. I did get 3 items. They were, of course, full priced, but it's fine in the moment purchases. I bought a men's small power AOP crew. So basically, I bought it because it was quite cozy looking. It's just an oversized crew jumper.
It is
basically.
very nice. I had a little haul.
Yes. Oh yes, Chloe had a little haul. But yeah, so got that. I then got the Vital Seamless 2.0 shorts and the Vital Seamless 2.0 like cami tank. I've not worn the cami tank yet because I feel like it needs to be a little bit warmer.
Yeah.
But those are the 3 that I got. Although I've seen that Gymshark have a spring sale on right now. I don't know if you've looked, Chloe.
No, I got an email and I was like, this is dangerous.
Yeah. Next episode, we're just like, we spent a lot of money on Gymshark.
Yeah.
I'm trying to hold back though. I'm not gonna lie. but we'll see. I'm not sure. The spring sale's not as big as the summer sale. They don't have as many of their key items.
No, I only ever buy in the summer sale, or obviously Black Friday.
Yeah. So
it was like, sorry, was the stuff there like, was it new stuff or?
It was a mix. So obviously they couldn't stock everything, but so they just chose specific colours and specific things. There was some stuff that I'd never seen before, so Alex actually bought some too, and he had this white Gymshark, the kind of logo-y t-shirt I hadn't seen. But otherwise it was just like nice, the Vital. Yeah. I was gonna get it myself, and I was like, I'll just steal his. But yeah, there was like the Vital Seamless 2.0 stuff. There was like Adapt Ombre or like Fleck. Oh yeah, I know. And then there was like accessories like water bottles and bags and hats. But I was too, like, we were about to miss Ethan's podcast if I'd spent any longer looking and just trying to decide whether I wanted a water bottle or not. So I just left it. Although I did see on Instagram earlier today that Gymshark have a little keychain that's like a mini backpack, and it's so completely unnecessary, but I want it.
Oh, I think I saw that on the website when we were looking before.
Yeah, it's like they did a what's in my mini backpack, and it was like literally like a nail file. But yeah, so that's generally the Gymshark Lift event. I feel like if I had spent more of the day there, or had the intention to spend more of the day there, I probably could have gotten a lot more out of it. Like, it would have been less of a rush. But they had like food stands everywhere. They had like Nando's made a special menu for them.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and then there was like these workout classes everywhere. One of them was next to where we were queuing for the shop, and there was just one of the athletes with their top off teaching people how to pose, which was quite funny. We didn't know it was a posing one, so I just turned around for a minute. I turned back and was like, Alex, he's taking his top off.
What's going on?
Yeah, what's going on? But yeah, so overall, would I go again? Probably, but I'd be less rushed. Hopefully there'll be less people and more availability for the workouts, because the tickets were free. They like, the tickets sold out so fast. The only reason I was able to get ones to the Ethan podcast was because I looked at his story 30 seconds after he posted it one day. I know, I was like sat on the sofa like, damn, lucky. But yeah, so I would go again. I guess, Chloe, you can't really give a sheesh rating too much for this.
No.
But I would give... If Ethan wasn't there, I'd give it like 2. You know what? I'm going to be really negative. Maybe it's just because I've been in a generally poor mood today, but I'm going to give it 2 E's. So it's just going to get a normal sheesh from me. I enjoyed it and I don't regret it, and I'd go again, but me missing Ethan twice, not meeting anybody, which is of course is like my own fault, and it just being so incredibly busy, I'd give it 2 E's. It's just a normal sheesh. It's not bad, but it's just a sheesh.
Yeah, like, you had a good day, but it could have been better.
Yeah, basically. So going on to my second topic, which is kind of literally continues on through the day. We travel down from Manchester to the place near where Charlotte's getting married, and I get to see Chloe and Jordan.
Yay!
So we're staying at the same Premier Inn nearby, and so Chloe and Jordan come over to our hotel room, and I should give them a haul and have a chat and catch up and stuff.
And watch Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs.
Oh my god, yes, that was on the TV. Very awesome film, Oscar-winning film. Oh my god, actually, this is so off topic, I'm sorry, but did you see that the Mario... am I about to spoil right now? Surely not. Do you know Jack Black did a song for the Mario film?
Yeah, I do know about it. Jordan's obsessed with it. We haven't even seen it. Peaches. It's
legible for an Oscar nomination.
Oh my gosh.
Can you imagine? But anyway, I should have spoken about the Mario movie because I've seen that. I guess you haven't, so I won't want to spoil. We'll do it next time.
I do want to see it, but...
Yeah, we'll do it next time. But anyway, back to Jordan and Chloe. We then went and had dinner, which was nice. And then, we just sat in the Brewers Fair for hours, and just it kind of went more downhill. That was the moment, and until the end where we left each other, it just kind of got less PG.
Yeah, the more, the drinks come out, not for me and Millie, but for the boys.
Yeah.
And yeah, the later it gets.
Yeah, I feel like sober, I can fuel the fire quite a bit.
Oh yeah,
and
definitely.
Yeah, I'm quite bad at fueling Jordan.
You're like the dark horse. You just come out with something, and I'm like, please don't encourage them.
So yeah, and then we got to meet some of Charlotte's family. We did get to see Charlotte the night before, even if it was briefly. It was really nice. And then we went to bed. I will speak for Chloe and everyone that stayed in that Premier Inn that would give the Premier Inn night before sleep no ease. Everyone just was awake.
It wasn't that it was like uncomfortable. I think I was just like anxious, not anxious, but like excited for the wedding and like the anticipation. I was like, oh, when we wake up, we got to get ready, and then we're seeing Charlotte get married, so I couldn't sleep.
Yeah, true. That was probably it. It was really weird though, wasn't it? Like, I'm conscious I've been talking a lot. You talk about what the Premier Inn was like, because it was like on one floor, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was very weird. Like, you expect a Premier Inn, like everyone I've been to has been like, yeah, like a floor's kind of like a scraper kind of style building. But yeah, it was just like one floor which went round in like a square, so you could walk all the way around, and there was like 30 rooms or something.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was very odd, but yeah, and the beds were fine, and like we had quite a big room, and there was like a sofa, like I don't know what you call it, like a shade lounge thing, whatever you call them. I probably pronounced that completely wrong. I don't know what they're called.
What called? Sorry, I got completely distracted by.
It's like one of those like sofas you can like. It's got like one side's kind of like open. And, you kind of lean in it, like idea. Yeah, like a fancy thing. I had one of those, but yeah, I don't know. I think I was just maybe we were all just anticipating the next day and like.
Wait, our room didn't have one of those.
No, your room is a bit smaller.
Oh, what the hell?
Well, I don't know. Like we didn't really choose a room. I don't think we just booked one. I don't know.
Yeah, you warned them. They were like, Millie and Alex were coming. Stick them in the worst.
Yeah. No.
So we sleep, obviously, even if it was poor, and we wake up. Obviously, Charlotte is gone. All the bridesmaids, they've gone over to the venue. We have breakfast with Chloe and Jordan, and then we have many hours to get ready. And somehow Alex and I are still not ready by the time we have to go. We were still thinking around. I'm not gonna lie, I felt a bit like insecure that morning for some reason. Like, I put on my outfit and I got ready and I was like, I don't like I wasn't feeling the vibe.
Aww.
I know. Also, guys, Chloe looked absolutely stunning. She was wearing the most like lovely dress ever.
Oh, my heart.
So you looked very lovely.
No, you look lovely. You in blue, it just brings out your eyes, and your hair like stands out against it as well. I think you looked beautiful.
Oh, thanks, Chloe. But yeah, so we then got the taxi, got there, and then obviously you're just doing all your wedding things. We meet up with Sophie and James because they stayed at a different place. So that was a nice little reunion, and then we're just waiting. Yeah. Charlotte's getting ready. We get to see James, who's the groom, briefly, and then we all go sit down, and we've had the conversation before. I was like, Charlotte, there's a high chance I'm going to cry. So Charlotte told us, when you go into the ceremony room, can you sit at the back, but there's like a few rows where it's just 2 seats, and those are the first rows people see when you come in. And Charlotte was like, can you sit there so I can kind of see you guys first? So we're like, right, yeah, we sat ourselves there. Charlotte didn't even make it into the room before I sobbed my eyes out. It was quite bad.
You were like, I'm already crying. I was like, oh no.
Yeah. So it kind of like, it started a little bit because they had these like, they printed out on A4 pieces of paper like the news, and there was pictures of them, and it was so cute, and I was like, okay, the emotions. I'm getting a bit emotional now.
Yeah.
But then the third bridesmaid came through. Charlotte I hadn't even seen her in a dress yet, and just the anticipation of her looking stunning and the whole I just, like, I'm not saying I cried, I sobbed. Like, I struggled to be silent, to be honest.
Yeah, we can confirm that.
Like, I had panda eyes, my makeup like just rolling down my face, and I just cried my eyes out. But then I didn't cry for the rest of the wedding. I think you and Sophie got a little teared up at James's. Was it James's best man speech? Or was it his best.
Yeah, and his speech as well. Yeah. And their first dance, I also cried at that.
Oh, really?
Because that song is like really sweet, and I was just like, oh, I don't know. Aww. They just look so amazing.
I know. Overall, it was a really amazing day. But yeah, it was, aside from the absolutely stunning bride and groom and the fact we're at a wedding, it was also a really funny time for us to just all, like, come together. Like, Chloe, Jordan, Sophie, James, Alex and I, and then sometimes, like, James and Charlotte.
Occasionally,
yeah. They were preoccupied.
Yeah.
But we just had such a hilarious time. Like, we were dancing. We're not joking when we said it kept going down the non-PG route. Like,
yeah, like I'm never involved in this, by the way. I just want to say I never do any of these non-PG things. It's always everyone else.
It was so funny though. So if you're listening to this out loud, it's not even that bad, but there's your warning. So basically, when we were waiting, before the ceremony had even started, I don't even know, was it me who said it? I can't even remember.
I don't even know.
But basically, someone needed the toilet, and somehow every time someone went to the toilet, they were going for a tactical wank. Like, literally, anyone would go to the toilet, like, oh, they're off for a tactical wank.
Yeah, and then, like, every time someone would go, they'd be like, oh yeah, I'm just going for tactical wank. And I was like, we can't say this too loud. And, like, what if someone slips up and says it's like one of Charlotte's nan or something? Like, please, can we not?
Can you imagine? Oh, it was so funny. And, like, when we were leaving in the night, we were like, Charlotte, we'll have to have a chat and just debrief you on all the jokes from the day, because she doesn't know about this. So, Charlotte, if you're listening, there you go. We were all doing tactical wanks in your venue's toilets.
Oh, I don't. It must be so, like, weird, because you're, like, surrounded by all your family and friends, but you don't have enough time to see everyone when you're bride and groom.
Yeah.
And, like, you miss out on
it
things.
Must be really difficult. She pulled us into a room, didn't she? She got someone to come and get us and was like, I've had to be in this room and had to bring you guys in because every time I come over to speak to you, someone pulls me away.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's understandable though. Like, everyone's there for you. Everyone wants to talk to you, so...
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if there was any other inside. Oh, right. I hate this. Okay, it's kind of cringe. Dabbing was there, so the boys, I think, just feed into the fact that I find it cringe.
Yeah.
And it just became a thing. And Jordan received stern instruction that he was not allowed to dab during the ceremony.
Yeah, you could not dab as Charlotte walked down the aisle. Which I think that should be self-explanatory. Like, doesn't he need to be told not to dab when the ceremony's being filmed?
But yeah, we were just joking. Like, can you imagine in the back of the video that Charlotte's walking down the aisle and there's just like, I wish there was video on here right now, and then just like go and dabbing. But yeah, so it was just such a funny day, and then we were all dancing in the evening, and overall Charlotte and James, although as James went into a lot in his speech, Charlotte and her mum put on an absolutely amazing wedding.
Yeah, it was so like I kind of, obviously we knew kind of what Charlotte wanted, and like she'd been showing us things like the centerpieces and stuff like that. But also, I still didn't really know what it was going to be like, but it was like exactly what I imagined Charlotte wanted. And like, it just looked so like aesthetically pleasing and like, so like classy as well. And I thought that's what I really liked about it. It was like proper classy and like, but also kind of rustic.
Yeah, she did a really good job. And the
Yeah.
venue was so lovely. It didn't rain. The sun was out. There was, oh my God, the sex swing.
Oh, I forgot. I forgot that's what we called it.
So there was a swing at the bottom of the venue gardens, just obviously like on a tree, and it became known as the sex swing.
Charlotte didn't know this, but you know.
No, Charlotte didn't know we called it this. We just went around the venue renaming things that Charlotte had done. And then when we were sat down for dinner, before dinner while we were waiting, there was like advice you had to give. So they put like little letters and they were like, oh, take this time to write some advice and we'll open them all on our first wedding anniversary. So you can probably assume how that went. Spoiler alert. Wait, no, I'm not going to say it. It's for Charlotte and James's eyes only.
Yeah, in a year's time.
Yeah, we'll joke about it next year. But yeah, so it was a really lovely weekend overall. I had such an amazing time. It was just full of just love and happiness and being with friends and celebrating Charlotte and James. And so I feel like it would be wrong of us to put it at anything but the top category.
Of course, a five sheesh, 5 each sheesh. It has to be.
Yeah, it's like a sheesh.
Yeah, like, as well as it being like an amazing day, and like for Charlotte and James as well. Like we don't get to see each other often, so it's really nice to have an event that we could all go to as well. Yeah, and like have 100%. A full weekend of it as well, rather than just like. See, like when we met before, we met like Sophie and Charlotte like in Cardiff, and we had like a couple of hours, and we're like, oh, we gotta go now, kind of thing.
Yeah. It
was nice to have like a proper weekend.
Yeah, because like then afterwards, the morning after, Sophie, James, Chloe, Jordan, Alex and I all had breakfast together, which was so nice.
Yeah, and some were more worse for wear than others.
Oh yeah, some were a bit hungover. Of course not Chloe and I.
No.
I don't drink at all. I think Chloe, you had just like
I had like
a few small
2
ones.
drinks, yeah.
Yeah, throughout the whole day. But some people had a little bit more. We won't name names.
No.
But yeah, no, it definitely deserves the top sheesh rating. Charlotte did an amazing job. And yeah, that's the end of my 2 topics and my weekend. Here's your warning. We're about to talk about a lot of Star Wars stuff.
Yeah. I feel like Star Wars is going to come up a lot in the podcast.
Yeah,
I mean, Mandalorian finishes next week, so maybe we won't have as much to... Yeah, it's finale next week.
Oh my god. But that's the only thing that keeps me... Like, well, that and also the fact that Riverdale comes out every Thursday now.
Oh, yeah, we'll have that to replace Mandalorian.
Yeah, I mean, it's on the same level, so... But yeah, I will hand over to Chloe to lead the way on all things Star Wars celebrations.
Yes, so I went to Star Wars Celebration on the weekend. That is the 8th of April, because you'll be listening to this in the future. So we'd booked just a ticket for the Saturday, because tickets were they were like £60 plus each. So we thought, we'll just get one day. We don't really know what we're gonna, like what to expect. So we're like, we'll just get the one day, we'll see how it goes. So we travelled to London on the Friday. We stayed with 2 of Jordan's friends who live there, so that was handy. And then we knew on the Saturday, the place officially opened at 10 a.m, but you could queue from 8. And they did say on the website, like, there's no overnight camping, you're not allowed to queue before 8 o'clock. But when I checked on Twitter, I was seeing people were queuing from like 6 or more. Earlier. So I don't know how they were allowed to. But we got there at 9:30, and I thought that's quite a solid time. We weren't like too far back in the queue. I was like, it's going to be fine. But we ended up getting in about 10:30, just to let everyone kind of file through. And I was very nervous because the Ahsoka panel, I was very lucky. So before you book, you don't know what's going to be on each day. Which is kind of stressful when you're picking one day. But we managed to get the day which had the Ahsoka panel, and in the evening was the 15th anniversary Clone Wars panel. So I was like, brilliant. Those are like my 2 favourite things about like the Star Wars universe.
Yeah.
So the Ahsoka panel started at 11, and I was a bit like, oh, we're gonna miss it, because this panel was actually a lottery. So to see it and see the actors on stage, like live, you had to have been picked for this lottery, which we weren't. So I was like, fine.
I think that's so unfair. Like, I don't mean to interrupt, but
No,
like,
it's okay.
I hate stuff like that. Like, where you've paid to be somewhere, but then you might not be able to access something in the event. Like, I understand why they do it, because there's literally thousands of people there, but it's so annoying. Like, they should have a room where, like, even if you can't get into the actual room, you can, like, watch it on a link or something that's just specific for people who have paid for a ticket.
Well, this is what I'm going to move on to. Nice segue for me, thank you.
Oh.
No, it's fine. It's a good segue. So there was 2 kind of other stages which had just screens in. And before I went, I thought, oh, right, we can just go into one of those and just watch it. And like, we'll still be able to watch it live, but not with the actors like in the same room. I was like, that's fine. I've paid here to be like see exclusive things, and we'll just go and watch those. But when we showed up, there were like things called standby lines. So if people dropped out or like didn't turn up for some reason, you could stand in those. But that was completely full for the main celebration stage, which is where the actors were. And then we went to these 2 other stages, and I think those were lottery as well. But that was just to see it on a screen, and I was like, oh, okay. And that wasn't streamed elsewhere, so I was like, right, I've just missed the one thing that I was really excited for. So we're kind of like, oh, okay, that's annoying. But we went over to like this stage. It was like a big kind of it was meant to be Navarro, which is kind of where some of the Mandalorians taken place in, and there was like a big kind of set with like a big screen with like ships flying across it. I was like, oh, this looks cool.
Oh my god.
And it turned out that was a celebration live stage where all the actors were going to come out, and I was like, oh, that's cool. Like, it wasn't even that busy, so I was like, we'll stay here. Hayden Christensen is meant to come on at 12 on this stage. So I was like, super excited. Everyone was like, oh, we're waiting for Hayden.
Yeah. I already know what happened.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm not excited.
Yeah. And he was meant to be on the schedule, and like the guy who does kind of like the announcing, he's like hype man. He tries to get the audience hyped up, because basically this stage is where it's streamed live on like YouTube and things, so you can watch from home.
Yeah. It's always so cringe.
Yeah, it was really
no
cringe.
Offense.
Yeah.
It's a hard job. But...
It is, but yeah, it was a bit cringe. And he was kind of like, oh yeah, we don't know if he's gonna, like, he's running a bit late right now, but he didn't specifically say his name. He was kind of like, oh, who are you guys expecting? And everyone was like, Hayden. And he was like...
deep down, he knew. I bet he did.
Yeah, and it was just like, okay, we're waiting. He was like, oh, it may be a bit delayed. We'll bring maybe someone else out while we're waiting. So they brought 2 chairs out, and we were like, oh. And then he took one chair away, so we were like, oh, Hayden's actually going to come out then. And then the president of Lucasfilm came out, Kathleen Kennedy, which is pretty cool, but I was like, everyone was expecting Hayden, and we were like... Okay.
You're a bit of a disappointment.
Yeah, I felt really bad. And Jordan was like, who's this? I was like, it is the president of Lucasfilm. Like, it's cool. But, yeah. And we stayed by that stage for about an hour and a half before we were like, I'm going to pass out or die of thirst. Like, we need to go get food.
Yeah.
But in that time, we did see Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau, who are just...
Oh, that's really cool.
They are like... the gods of Star Wars at the minute, like taking over from George Lucas. And me and Millie are both Clone Wars fans. Dave Filoni he's done like most of the animated stuff, and then Jon Favreau's done Mandalorian with Dave as well. But yeah, that was really good. Did
they answer any questions or anything, or did they just come on and be like, hello, my name is Dave and John, and then leave? No,
they answered a couple of questions. And yeah, Dave Filoni started crying because like he was so like blessed, because like he used to be like a massive Star Wars fan. He was like, oh, like I would be in the crowd with you guys, but like, and he was just getting overwhelmed because he started off with like animation. Now Ahsoka is coming out, like his live action characters, and he was just like, yeah, he started crying, and I was like, oh, Dave,
bless him. I'd probably cry at that.
I know, I did get a bit emotional. I was like, oh. Then we also saw director for The Acolyte. She also got really emotional. and was like, Star Wars saved my life kind of thing. And I was like, oh, it's really nice seeing that all the directors love Star Wars, because like it's in good hands.
Yeah. Also, I don't know what the Acolyte is yet. Am I supposed to? Is it out? Because if it is, I've missed it. Okay, that's fine.
I will talk about that in my next bit, the announcements kind of section.
Fine.
That's going to be a series, I believe.
Ooh.
And then Carl Weathers came out as well, who plays Grief Karga, like the High Magistrate guy who's in Navarra right now.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Were any of these people like dressed up like their characters? I would love to see him in his like robes.
No, he had like a baseball cap on.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a bit different, but no, we had to leave just to see it come on, because I was like, I need food. There was loads of food places like in the General XL building, and they had like some rooms off with like kind of stalls and things, like burger vans and like candy floss and stuff like that. Yeah. And nothing was too like, you didn't queue up for too long for things, so that was like for the food, so that was good. So yeah, we went and had some food. And in that time we were like, let's go and have a look at some of the shops. There was little kind of vendors, so there was like collectibles and things like that, which I wasn't really interested in, like the collectible toys or like comics and stuff.
Was it like the Black series, like figurines?
Yeah, there were loads of old figures as well, which are obviously very expensive, so I wasn't too interested in that because I don't collect any of those. Yeah. But it's still cool to just have a look around, and there was loads of art stuff as well, and there was a big droid building section.
Oh my God.
So that was probably my favourite part, because there was like loads of different R2 units, and like people had made kind of their own.
Aw, that's so cool.
Yeah, and there was like Chopper from Rebels. There was a couple of different Choppers. He's like my favourite droid. So there's a couple of those like battle droids and stuff, which you could take kind of loads of pictures of. There was also a tattoo thing.
So did you get a picture with a Roger Rogers?
I got a picture of them, but not with them. But yeah, those Roger Rogers are iconic too. Yeah, and there was like a Lego store and a Funko store, but you had to queue to get into those. And then there was also a Celebration store, which we queued half an hour for. When I got in, I bought an Ahsoka cardigan, which is really soft. It's actually so nice. I'm going to have to show you.
Oh my God. I didn't know this.
Yes.
I got a picture.
No, I wore it on stream Monday, I think.
Yeah. I didn't pay attention.
No, it's fine.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
send me a picture. That's so cool.
It was really cool. It was expensive, but I was like, I don't even care. I've queued half an hour.
Yeah, that was me for Gymshark. It's like, I gotta buy something.
Yeah. I also got my Max Rebo plushie, which I love Max Rebo. He's like such a niche character.
I'm gonna say, please remind me, who is Max Rebo?
He's like
is that the mini one? The mini engineer?
He's like the blue alien who like plays in like this is gonna sound weird, the Jizz band, because that's what it's called. It's called Jizz.
Oh wait, no, I got him confused with the little engineer man from Mandalorian who makes noise.
Oh no.
Oh, but from the band he does.
I think he's on like drums or something.
As if that's quite niche.
Yeah. So while doing that, we were terrified all day that we were going to miss Hayden come out on the stage, because they didn't say he wasn't going to come. They just said he was delayed. So yeah, it was just constant like anxiety all day, like, oh, no matter what we do, we're going to miss him. But you didn't want to miss anything else. It was very stressful. So in that meantime, we were looking at the shops and things. We missed Matt Lanter and James Arnold Taylor, who are the voice actors for Anakin and Obi-Wan.
Oh my God, I would have loved to have heard Obi-Wan's.
Yeah, so that was really gutting. We came right at the end of this. I was like, no. And we also missed so Lars Mikkelsen was announced. I'll talk a bit more about Ahsoka next. He was announced that he's going to be playing Grand Admiral Thrawn in the Ahsoka live series. He actually voiced the character in Rebels. So he came out on stage.
Which I haven't seen, sorry.
Yeah, you need to, honestly, man. Rebels is top content for Star Wars. Trust me, guys.
It's the animation. Like, I just love the Clone Wars animation so much that it's hard for me to watch anything that's different.
Yeah, but you need to watch it before Ahsoka. It won't make sense otherwise.
I know, I do. Though I've seen the last scene because I watched an overview before The Mandalorian, I think.
Oh, right, fair.
So I know what happens at the end. But I just don't know what it's actually about.
Yeah, that's fair enough. But anyway, yeah, he came out on the stage, we missed him. And then we managed to see Billy D. Williams, who's Lando, Ming-Na Wen, who plays Fennec Shand, Andy Serkis, who played Snoke, and Kino Loy in Andor. And obviously I love Andy Serkis as a Lord of the Rings fan. He's probably one of my favourite of the day because he was like really articulate when he was talking and you could tell he cared about the character.
Who does he play in Lord of the Rings? I'm sorry, I don't know who Andy is.
Oh, Gollum.
Oh, right.
He's like the voice actor.
That's
yeah.
so cool.
Yeah, so I was very excited for that. 'Cause I was like, yeah, I've known him for ages. So I was like, yes. And then we also saw Anthony Daniels, who plays C-3PO, and he can talk for Britain. Like, everyone else was on the stage for like 15 minutes. He was on there for at least half an hour.
I love that.
And he was in a gold sparkly suit. So kind of like C-3PO, like we said earlier. Did they dress up as the characters? It was kind of like that.
Oh my gosh, I actually love that. That would have been my favourite.
Yeah, he was really good. But it went on for quite some time.
You were like, shut up.
Yeah.
Bring on Hayden.
I know. I think that's just... The general energy of the day was, like, we had a really good time, but everything you pretty much had to queue for. And, like, say if we went in early for the Ahsoka panel, we could have queued and then not got in. Or...
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, then we saw the 50th anniversary Clone Wars panel. We managed to get into one of the separate stages, not the main stage. Because, again, we would have had to queue for that and we just missed everything else. So we got into like one of the separate stages and I was like, oh, we're getting like exclusive kind of stuff. This little stage, and he announced like Tales of the Jedi season 2 is coming. And I was kind of like, oh, like exclusive stuff, and we got to see the voice actors who are really cool. But then it turned out they streamed that anyway. So I was like, I've paid to come here and like we haven't really got anything that exclusive because that's been streamed anyway.
That's so annoying. What the hell? I hate stuff like that. Like, they probably don't think it's poor event management, but I do.
Yeah, because they never really said if they were going to stream it or not, so you didn't know what what panels were exclusive.
Yeah, they need to get like I mean, this may exist, but they need to get a panel of people who attended the event to give feedback to be like, you didn't think of this, please do this next time.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, they'll have some sort of feedback system because there was a lot of people complaining. Hopefully. To be fair, but yeah, overall, I'm gonna give the day a 3 E's sheesh because it was really good and we got to see like some really cool people, and like the atmosphere, like the cosplay was so cool, and just generally being surrounded by Star Wars fans, you know, you're all like hyping up trailers, like when they played them, we were like, yes, and like cheering. Oh my gosh,
that's so cool.
But it was sorry.
Oh no, so I was just gonna say, didn't you say on Discord that like someone was dressed up as Rex?
Yeah, there was a Captain Rex who was like in an Adidas blue and white tracksuit. Like it was like so many inventive ones. Like there was Darth Jar Jar, that was quite a cool one.
Oh my god.
And I saw like
I would have loved to have seen everyone's cosplays.
Yeah. It was really cool. There were a lot of Ahsokas. I think she was probably the most cosplay person.
Yeah. Everyone loves Ahsoka.
Yeah.
That's so cool. Oh, I bet it costs so much money to cosplay though. It's like, I would have loved to have done it, but I would have done such an awful job.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. Like, you could tell... Like, I'm not judging people, but you could tell who had put the most money into it because, like, say the Ahsoka headpiece, you can tell some people paid to, like, have that custom kind of printed or, like... I'm not even sure how they made them.
Yeah, I wouldn't have a clue.
Yeah.
3D printers?
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, the day's gonna get a 3 sheesh because even though it was really good and like I got to see some cool people and like see all cosplays and like the droids and things, you just have to queue for everything and you don't know what you're missing out on. Say like the next day there was Cameron, who plays Cal Kestis in the Jedi Fallen Order game, and also Hayden and Ewan both came out that day. And
oh my gosh.
I was like,
I'd be
no.
so annoyed.
So yeah, I think maybe if I went again, I would have to just go all out and maybe get a 4-day pass and make a big thing of it, just so I knew I wasn't missing out.
Yeah, because then there's no regrets.
Yeah. But it's in Japan next in 2 years' time,
Oh.
so not sure.
Never mind. I'd planned the tickets for this came out literally years ago, and I remember sitting in bed messaging you on Discord I don't think I can afford to go, so I didn't go. Whereas I would now be in a position where I probably could have gone. So it's a shame I wasn't able to come down and join you guys, but maybe next time when it's not in Japan.
I'm sure it will be closer again. It changes every couple of years, so
yeah, wow, it sounds like a good day though. I understand it's very frustrating, the queues and not knowing what's going on, but otherwise I'm jealous of your Ahsoka cardigan, and I've not even seen it yet.
I think you can get it online. It's Ashley Eckstein, who plays Ahsoka in Clone Wars. It's her her kind of shop, and they do Star Wars stuff. They also do other stuff like Marvel or Studio Ghibli stuff. It's pretty cool. But it was from that. I will definitely show you.
I bet it was well spenny.
Yeah, it was 60 or something.
I guess, to be honest, that's not that bad. I spent 50 quid on a Gymshark jumper, so
yeah, I was expecting that price, and I was like, yeah, we've queued half an hour, let's just get it.
Yeah. Plus, it's you're at Star Wars celebrations. You kind of it's the time to buy stuff like this.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I'm glad you had a good time. Did Jordan enjoy?
He did, yeah, but he was a bit why have we paid? And then we're not actually seeing anything. He was a bit happier when we saw the Clone Wars panel. I like that we got to see Dave Filoni because Jordan loves him as well. But he did complain most of the day that his legs were hurting and that he was tired and he was hungry. I was like, oh God.
That's me most of the time. If I'm not well fed and slept well, then I am complaining.
Yeah. So that's the the downside. If you had to do more days, it would be so tiring. One day was tiring enough. I don't know how I would last 4 days.
Yeah. I guess maybe you could it doesn't matter. The shop stuff isn't going to change, so you can just one shop a day.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You could spend one day and make sure you've seen all the shop stuff, and then for the other days it's oh well, I've got stuff from that, so I don't need to look at that, so I can stay by one stage all day.
Yeah.
But unfortunately we had to cram it in one day.
Oh, I'm glad you still got to go. I completely forgot. I was actually stood in the kitchen the day before you were due to go, and I was like, oh my God, it's Star Wars celebrations. It's on now. Chloe hasn't said anything. Has she forgotten she's going? And I was like, Alex, Chloe hasn't said anything about this. I was like, does she know she's going still?
No, we were travelling up on the Friday, so.
Aww.
Yeah.
Well, I think you're about to go on and tell us a bit about what was announced, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm going to try and do this just as quickly as possible because I've blabbed on for so long. I'm very conscious that we've nearly hit 50 minutes. Oh
my God, yeah. If you're still listening, hi, thank you.
Yes, just listen to me nerd out. So there were a lot of announcements across the whole weekend. Obviously went on just the Saturday, so not all of this we were there for, but
yeah. I know some of this stuff from Twitter, but then I stopped paying attention because I was like, Chloe will just be able to tell me on the podcast.
Yeah. So on the Friday, kind of the first thing that were announced were the next kind of Star Wars films, because we haven't had one since Rise of Skywalker, I think. That must have been the last Star Wars film.
The trilogy. Oh my God, I saw a little bit on this, and I'm actually so oh wait, I'll let you say it because I was about to say something.
Oh, okay. That's fine. So we know of 3 live-action Star Wars films. One from Dave Filoni, which I've blabbered on about him so much, but I love him. So that's exciting, and that's set in the New Republic. There's one coming from James Mangold, which will be in the Dawn of the Jedi. And then I'm going to butcher this person's name, I'm sorry. Charmin Obaid-Chinoy is doing a film based after Rise of Skywalker with Rey, who will be rebuilding the Jedi Order. So Daisy really surprised everyone, which is really cool.
Yeah, that's really cool. I love all of that. I have no idea who James and Charmin are. I don't know if they were the ones who did the previous films, but the fact that Rey is coming back is so exciting for me, because I don't care what people say about the films. I love Rey. I have Dark Rey pop figure up there, like on my bookcase. I do love Rey, and to see what happens afterwards will be really exciting. But then I'll just take any Star Wars film, to be honest.
Well, yeah, that's how I feel. Like, there's going to be a lot of complaints. People didn't like Rey, but I think we could get a really cool film here, because it could be like, maybe, I know people are theorizing that it could be like a grown-up Grogu could be like helping her, because obviously he'd be a bit older.
Oh my god.
Though he's chosen to be a Mandalorian, so I don't know, but
oh my god,
that would be super
Did he
cool.
really choose? He kind of got, in that episode, he got forced, I feel like.
Yeah, he just wanted his dad.
That's yeah, that's so exciting though. Oh my god, I bet we won't see those for like 10 years.
Yeah, I don't think there were no kind of dates, and there's meant to be like a film for the Old Republic as well, so like, yeah, we're gonna get a lot across kind of all the eras, which I don't know a lot about, like some of the other eras. That'll be interesting to see.
No, I get confused, I'm not gonna lie. Like, when I go from watching Mandalorian to Bad Batch to then like something else, and they're in different like slightly different eras, I'm like, what's actually happening? Has Order 66 happened or not?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah, that's quite exciting.
So
Some new
exciting.
films.
Aww.
And then my highlight would be the Ahsoka series is coming in
Ooh.
August. I think August
That's
2023.
so soon.
It'll probably fly by. But it's essentially, for people who don't really know about it, it's continuing on from where Rebels left off, and there's loads of Rebels characters in live action. And yeah, so Lars Mikkelsen was announced as Thrawn, which is kind of like the big thing of the weekend.
Is he the blue one?
Yeah, the blue guy. But yeah, I love Rebels. I actually low-key think Rebels is better than Clone Wars.
Guys, I'm looking for a new podcast host. Send in your applications.
But yeah, I obviously love them both, but some of Rebels episodes, like, I think they're must-watch for any Star Wars fan. But yeah, that's really exciting to see them live action.
I haven't watched the Ahsoka trailer. I don't like spoilers, so I don't know whether I should watch it or not.
Yeah, it's kind of spoilery, but not... I don't think it's too much, you know?
I feel like if someone was watching it or it was put in front of me, then I wouldn't turn it off, but I feel like I'm not going to seek it out.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
But that's so exciting, though. I will watch Rebels.
Yes, you must. But yeah, then we've also got Andor Season 2 is coming next August 2024.
I haven't watched Season 1. I'm so sorry, Peter, if you're listening right
yeah,
now.
he's like, please
I will watch Andor. Yeah, he's like, what do you mean you've spent 10 hours watching TV at the weekend and you didn't watch Andor?
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I enjoyed Season 1. It was a bit slow, but like, it was different. I still really enjoyed it. And then we have The Acolyte, which is set at the end of the High Republic, which I don't know much about.
What's the High Republic? I'm lost.
Yeah, I'm trying to look at a timeline. It's kind of just before the fall of the Jedi.
Right, okay. Makes sense.
So
it's
yeah.
like the high of the Republic, so it's not new, but it's at the peak.
Yeah, before it all goes downhill again. Yeah, that's coming 2024. We don't know a lot about that. Apparently there was a trailer, but that must have been at the panel or something. But then the director said, like, oh, she doesn't have much to show us yet, so I don't really know.
Yeah, I haven't seen much.
No. The Skeleton Crew got his first trailer again. I think that was... It might have been leaked online somewhere. I think that was at a panel as well.
I'm sorry, but what is the Skeleton Crew? I've not seen anything about it.
Yeah, it's meant to be coming out this year, but it's got Jude Law in it, and apparently it's all about kind of like it's like a younger cast of characters who I think are kind of like like none of them are Jedi. I think they're kind of like laying low. It's kind of like about normal people in the Star Wars universe, I think.
Oh,
And they like go on
that
some
could be
kind of
interesting.
adventure. But yeah, I thought that was quite cool. Then we have Star Wars Tales of the Jedi season 2. Yeah, that was
I haven't
exciting to
watched
see in
season
that.
1 of that either.
Wait, you haven't? I thought you had.
Wait, have I?
The animated one with like Ahsoka as like a baby and
Oh wait, I did watch that.
yeah.
Oh, I forgot. That it's that. Yeah, I did watch that.
Yeah, it was like really short, wasn't it? So
Yeah. There's like 3 episodes on Ahsoka or something, wasn't it? And then 3 on
there was like Dooku.
was it Count Dooku? Yeah, because I didn't
Yeah.
know that much about like Count Dooku before that.
No. So yeah, I'm curious as to who, like what Jedi they'll cover in that, but that's exciting. And then we have Bad Batch 3rd season, but it's gonna be the final season. Which is like obviously it was very exciting to hear that they're doing another season, but very sad that'll be the last one. But yeah, you kind of expected
We don't
it.
have enough time to get into Bad Batch conversation.
Yeah.
Right now. That needs to be saved for next episode. There's so many thoughts.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't want to give anything away about that, but yeah, it will be an emotional one, I'm sure. Then there's Star Wars Visions, which is like each episode is like a different animation studio. So it's kind of different style. There's gonna be season 2 of that. I've actually only watched a couple of season 1. They were cool, but very different. But
I haven't watched any again.
No.
I'm sorry, I'm not very good at this.
It's okay. But season 2 is gonna have an episode by Aardman, who did obviously Wallace and Gromit, and we stan Wallace and Gromit, so that should be quite cool.
Hey.
But then apparently there's also a Lando Calrissian series or a film in the works. We don't really know much about that.
I feel like they're so random. Like, are they not reaching?
Yeah.
Do people like them that much?
Yeah, like, because obviously Donald Glover played Lando in the Solo film.
Yeah.
So I feel like they're getting him back. Like, we don't really know much about that yet.
I feel like it would be cool if he comes back, but otherwise, I'm like, they're going to have to bring other characters in to get, like, maybe I'm just ignorant to the Lando fan base, but...
No, like, he's pretty cool, but he's not, like, my favourite character. And then apparently Taika Waititi, like, it's been said that he's working on a film, a Star Wars film. Apparently he's just, all we've got is that he's still working on it. So
we don't know what it's about,
yeah.
But he's still doing something. Promise he's doing his job.
Yeah. So that's literally, all I got on that is he's still working on it. And then a final thing, we got a Jedi Survivor kind of final gameplay trailer on the Sunday, I think that was, which it comes out April 28th. I'm very excited to play that.
Oh yeah, I'll have to watch you play that. I feel like I'm just not good at games. I much prefer watching other people play them.
Yeah, that game's, the first one is like actually quite hard. I had to put it on the easiest difficulty because the bosses were so hard.
Yeah, I have not got a single chance.
Yeah, it's
then.
like a proper like Dark Souls kind of bosses. It's hard. But yeah, I'm excited to see that. And yeah, I'll probably stream that, I think.
Hey, everyone go follow twitch.tv/Chloe047.
Hey, plug. But yeah, that was a mouthful. So I think I'm going to rate the announcements for that weekend as a 5E sheesh, because I think the Ahsoka show has like put that rating up just because I'm so excited for that.
Oh yeah.
But I feel like knowing that we've got all these films coming as well and like more series, like we've been very blessed with all the Star Wars announcements, so I feel like it has to be a 5. I don't know what could like what more
I'll
than we could
happily
have done.
like you know, Charlotte's once in a lifetime wedding is equivalent to Star Wars announcements.
Yeah, sorry, Charlotte.
I agree. Sounds Charlotte. But no, I think from my lack of knowledge of all of them, very excited for the Rey film, very excited for Ahsoka, very excited for Bad Batch. Although I want to know what they're going to do with the Clone Wars animations after Bad Batch, because like Bad Batch has kind of continued that on. Like, are we just not going to get any Clone Wars animation after that?
Yeah.
I would be very sad. It's literally my favourite. So
yeah, I don't know what they're going to do.
Please make the Clone Wars movie too. But well, somehow we have spoken for an hour.
I know. Sorry, guys.
But we've covered a lot.
we had
a lot to talk about. Yeah, I think it was needed. You had to bring me up to speed. I think people would be really interested to hear about your experience at the Star Wars celebration. So, but we can't forget, we definitely cannot end without going through our memes. We'll do it quickly, but this is the time. Don't forget to vote. You can vote on Spotify, or send us a message, or comment on YouTube, or vote on Instagram. But we've got our meme contenders. Do you want me to do mine first?
Yes, I'm going to open yours now.
So, don't forget that you can check these out. Wait, I was clicking. Oh well. Don't forget that you can check these out in the description. They're just like short memes. My one is basically a meme from Instagram that I saw about how tall people play with Lego versus how short people play with Lego. And it's got the soundtrack of like da-da-da-da-da-da. So I found that very funny. It's just how the roof closes. Yeah.
That's me. I'm the short person. I'm inside.
Yeah, just getting inside the Lego ship. But yeah, so that is my meme contender.
Oh, that is a really good one. I love the music. It's like the copyright free like YouTube music. Oh, that's a good one. I'm jealous now.
Hey, what's yours?
So mine is, it was from a little while ago, but it's made a resurgence. I'm happy to be a part of this resurgence. So it's basically, I've just put one in, but there's loads of them. There's a thing called doubloons. It was a picture of a black cat like stretching out his foot, so it looks like he's kind of stretching his like, it looks like he's kind of got like fingers, and he's like, so you can see his 4 little toe beans, I guess. And people use that and were like saying like, so if you pass by this TikTok, you'd get like 5 doubloons, and then you were meant to kind of like count as you went along. So like every TikTok you saw, it'd be like this cat like, oh, like stop by here, I'll give you 10 doubloons and a slice of bread. And it was kind of like a little game, and it got really intense, and like you could visit like shops and things.
Oh my god, I steal your doubloons.
Yeah, or you could get your doubloons stolen, and you'd be like, no, I just lost 100 doubloons.
I was not part of this, unfortunately. I only know about this from outside because I don't have TikTok, so I missed out on the doubloons.
Oh. But yeah, it's come back, and it's kind of people like, you know, oh, you forgot all about the doubloons, like welcome back, traveller. So people are trying to bring it back again, and I'm all for it.
I've got to listen to it. Let me watch it.
Just the music is always the same as well. Apparently it's Happy Tree Friends
like kind of music
or something. That's what Jordan said.
Sorry. Say again,
It's
sorry?
like Happy Tree Friends music or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I was going to say, it sounds like the type of music plays when you're playing like an eerie like game.
Yeah.
It's like energetic and vibey but scary.
Yeah.
So it's like, bring back to please wait. Oh my gosh. A traveller, it's been so long. Welcome back. There's a crisis. It seems everyone forgot about doubloons. I need your help to bring them back, otherwise I'm going to be out of business forever. Here, quickly, take this crisis kit. Oh my god, 100 doubloons. Wait, oh my gosh, it's too fast. But we have 100 doubloons, guys. You guys now have 100 doubloons.
Yes.
Go now, traveller. Bring back the doubloons and save my business. You are my last hope. I wish you good luck on your journey. 100 doubloons for everybody. Hey, oh, that's a good one. That's funny.
I just think it's really sweet how like people actually play in the comments and like, I will buy this hat off you for 10 doubloons.
It's so wholesome though. I feel like TikTok needs that kind of stuff. Oh, well, after an hour and 5 minutes of podcast, I think we should bring it to a close. I don't know if you have anything you want to say, Chloe, before we finish?
No, just make sure to follow us on Spotify, subscribe on YouTube, follow us on Instagram and TikTok. We'll have all the links in the description or in our bio kind of thing.
Yes. Oh. Well, I think that was, thought that was really interesting. Thank you for running through the Star Wars stuff. And thank you so much, everyone, if you're still listening. And make sure to do everything that Chloe just said. And we will be back next time in 2 weeks for another episode of the Sheesh podcast. See you later, everybody.
Bye.